In America, we have laws. And it's just accepted that as a member of American society, you will live by these laws. In West Canaan, Texas, there is another society which has its own laws.
We woke up in the Twilight Zone. West Canaan, sex and football. That's all there is.
Hey, Mark, let's roll!
Woo! Lance, can I have your autograph? Right here?
I tell you, these players are just running around flawless.
Earl, my boy's too much trouble for you.
Oh, no, Coach.
What the hell are you doing?
Changing. Oh, come on, I'm wearing underwear. Does it really bother you?
I can handle it.
Tell me this insanity's over in a few weeks.
5 more games. No more football, no more Kilmer, and if I get into Brown, no more West Canaan.
Woo! Yeah!
Come on, keep your shirt on, Billy Bob.
It's a strip club, man. I'm here to work.
It's better than football.
It's better than anything.
We do things around here my way. You're going to be second string all your life, boy. This game is 48 minutes. For the next 48 years of your life.
The hell with Gilbert.
This is your opportunity.
For you, playing football at West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime. But I don't want your life.
You disobey me, and I will bury you. I know about your scholarship to Brown.
Only way we're going back out in the fields without you. Kilmer said 48 minutes. The next 48 years of our lives. I say we go out there and we'll leave it all out on the field. We got the rest of our lives to be mediocre, but we have the opportunity to play like gods. Let's be heroes.
Welcome to the latest episode of the B Movie Club. I'm your host, Kevin. This week we'll be discussing the 1999 sports drama unintentional comedy classic, Varsity Blues, starring James Van Der Beek, John Voight, Paul Walker. It's an all-star cast. For those of you joining us for the first time, each week in the B Movie Club, I'll discuss certain guilty pleasures and forgotten classics of the past. Go ahead and go to our page on Facebook, Original B Movie Club, and give us the big thumbs up. Also go to our page on YouTube at KB9575 and hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at the B Movie Club. You get all the latest updates whenever I post a new video, links to anything B-movie-ish, okay? I appreciate you doing that. And don't forget to spread the word, if you please. Okie dokie. Varsity Blues. In this movie, in the fictional town of West Canaan, Texas, football is everything there. I think we've heard this story before, okay? In this town, the high school football players are basically deities that have been raised up. They have their all-state quarterback, Lance Harbor, who's poised to lead their team to a new state championship with their coach, Coach Kilmer, who has already racked up 1 million banners up there, including 2 state championships. So he is also kind of a godly figure that can do no wrong. The players basically can do whatever they want. You know, you've also got Tweeter, the wide receiver, got Billy Bob, the offensive lineman, and who the story really focuses on is the backup quarterback, Mox. Okay? Mox, his last name is Moxon, so they call him Mox. I don't know. Not a good name, in my opinion. He's on the team because I guess it's expected of him, even though he's kind of an intellectual. You know, during the games, because he's the backup quarterback, he never gets in because they've got the all-state quarterback in there. He sits on the pine, pretending to read the playbook, but really he's reading Kurt Vonnegut. okay? Which, okay, that shows that he's intelligent, I guess. Also, he's kind of a jerk because all of his buddies are playing the game and he's totally tuned out. He's like, whatever you guys are doing out there is cool with me. So he's got a little thing with the coach. The coach sees him like reading and having thoughts and ideas, and he doesn't really appreciate that. That's why you're always going to ride the bench, Moxon. That sort of thing. Gets pressure from his dad. His dad was a bad player. Who played for this coach 100 years ago. And that was like, you know, a lot of these old timers are like, that was the most valuable, important moment of their lives, playing high school football. Things like that. So Lance Harbor, who's the starting quarterback, things are going well for him. Things are, you know, he's got cheerleaders, his girlfriend, he's getting scholarship offers, all sorts of things. But there's another dark, seedy underbelly to all this. Basically, Lance Harbor, the coach has been having him get injections, cortisone shots into his knee because his knee's kind of messed up. But rather than seek medical attention, they just shoot him up and push him right out there. Also, Billy Bob, the offensive lineman, got a concussion the other day. And it's a lot of shake it off, Billy Bob. You're okay. Get out there. You know, help us out. So one of those moments where Billy Bob's kind of suffering from a concussion, he basically passes out on the field. So the other team's defensive lineman, linebacker, comes up and smokes Lance Harbor, blows out his knee. Oh no! Oh no! They go to the hospital. They find out that his knee was thrashed from way back before. He's got scar tissue up the yin-yang. So this is a big problem, okay? So he's going to be out for 1.5 years at least. So now it's like, well, there goes the season. Not to mention poor Lance's college career as a football player. What is he going to do now? This is very upsetting. So Coach Kilmer is forced to shove Mox in there. And what do you know it? Even though he's been riding the pine all this year, he's got an arm like Peyton Manning. He's scrambling like Aaron Rodgers. He's juking people out of the things. He's shooting bullets 50 yards down the field. It's kind of like, so this is the coach. Presumably knows what he's doing, but evidently he's got John Elway sitting on the bench, and he's just like, okay, anyway, moving on. So, of course, Mock steps in without, missing a beat, but there's still friction. Still friction, because he doesn't always do what the coach asks him to do. He's a loose cannon. Half the time he doesn't know the playbook because he's reading Kurt Vonnegut, which is all well and good, but what's the play? They're doing hand signals, and he's just like, I don't know, whatever, just go deep. There's a lot of that going on. So, now he's the big star, because he starts winning the games, and things are, because he doesn't see himself that way. He doesn't see himself as like a football player type. He's like, yeah, I play football, but I'm also kind of an intellectual, if you know what I'm saying. But now Lance's hot cheerleader girlfriend is ditching Lance because she saw him as her ticket out of town, so now she's kind of rubbing up on Mox, going, ooh. So there's a lot of problems going on. There's a lot of issues that they're dealing with here. Because, Lance Harbor and Mox, they're buddies from way back when, along with Tweeter and Billy Bob. They're all hanging out. They're all doing stuff, but there's problems. There's problems. Eventually, in the big game of the season, they're going in there and they want to shoot up the running back's knee. No, don't do it. And this is a problem, as you might imagine. So eventually the team, spoiler alert, they revolt. They say, no more. You're not going to put more of our lives at risk. And they kick the coach out. So now they go out there, and Lance Harbor, who's on the sidelines with his leg in a brace of some sort, he's like, now I'm calling the plays. I'll be the coach. So he's calling stuff in. He's got a headset on. He's the only coach. Who's he talking to? Does he have a CB going on in there? Breaker 19? He's listening to the Golden Oldies? I don't know what's going on. Is iPod's playing? It's very upsetting. I don't want to spoil everything. I don't want to give everything away. But things seem to work out all right. I guess that is giving everything away. Varsity Blues. James Vanderbeek plays Mox, and up to this point his big claim to fame was he was the star of Dawson's Creek, that show on, I don't know, whatever it was, the WB, CW, one of those shows. And this movie, which was produced by MTV, really is kind of a showcase of poor acting, if you will, between Vanderbeek and Paul Walker, who plays Lance Harbor. It's pretty rough. I mean, they should have gotten some acting coaches in, help these guys out to say their lines in a way that's at least sort of believable. I don't know. They wheeled in crusty old John Voight to play Coach Kilmer. This was that period. Okay, for those of you guys who don't know, John Voight was a big star like in the 70s. Okay, 80s, little lean time for him. Okay, little lean. 90s roll around, now he starts getting roles. Sadly, they're not the same kind of roles he used to get. Now it's a lot of Anaconda, for example, those sorts of roles. Varsity Blues, where you're just kind of like, I guess he's got to pay the bills like everybody else. So he's in there playing the disgruntled coach. Scott Conn, who's the son of James Conn, of course, plays Tweeter. Billy Bob, the guy who plays, Ronnie Lester, who plays Billy Bob, the offensive lineman. He was supposed to be like a 17-year-old kid. He was actually 28 years old in this. When they go on to make fun of Varsity Blues in that movie, Not Another Teen Movie, they drag old Ronnie Lester out to basically play the same role. When there was talk of making a Varsity Blues TV show, they dragged old Ronnie Lester in to play Billy Bob yet again. It's like, what else is he going to do? Okay? They all have to pay the bills, okay? James Van Der Beek, sadly, this was like the pinnacle of his film career. It was pretty much all downhill from there. He was in Rules of Attraction, if you remember that one. Not so much. He's lately been doing kind of guest spots on certain shows. He had a recurring role in the TV series Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. You remember that one? No, you don't. He played himself? Okay. Paul Walker, of course, did a handful of movies where he was just kind of like, hey, I'm the good-looking guy who can't really act. And then he struck gold in The Fast and the Furious. If it wasn't for the Fast and the Furious movies, well, things might have turned out differently for old Paul Walker. Rest in peace, sadly. So, got that going for him. Scott Conn, who played Tweeter, he's been in a handful of things, including like the Ocean's 11 movies. You've seen this guy before. Not surprisingly in the slightest, as I said, this is an MTV production. James Van Der Beek won all sorts of MTV movie awards that year, including Best Actor. Okay, what are you going to do? So, good times had by all. It's fun. It gets the job done. I mean, there's definitely some times where you're kind of scratching your head going, oh my goodness, what is going on here? There's one scene where the beautiful cheerleader Darcy, in Ali Larter's debut performance, she tries to seduce Mox by lathering herself up with like whipped cream. It seems like a lot of effort to seduce a high school kid. Anyway, they had to use shaving cream because, shockingly enough, whipped cream just wouldn't get the job done, I guess. I don't know. Good times. This movie currently has a 40% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not going to win any awards. It's what you think it is. There's a lot of football scenes that are just ridiculous. You know, the kind of small-town football drama was done much more eloquently in things such as like Friday Night Lights. But whatever, it's fine. It gets the job done. I'm not saying, you know, hey, let's all get together and watch Varsity Blues. But if you got the time and you're suffering from insomnia, plug it in. It may surprise you. Okay? Next week, moving away from whatever genre this is. We're going back to the horror genre. One of the originals. Okay? Not one of the original horror movies. They've been around for 100 years. But one of the trendsetters, innovators. We're doing Wes Craven's immortal classic Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know why I paused like that. Nightmare on Elm Street with Robert Englund playing Freddy Krueger. So check that out. It is streaming instantly on Netflix. Rush out and see it. Send any favorite scenes, favorite quotes, comments, or questions, and I may talk about it on the show. Don't forget to go to our page on Facebook, Original B Movie Club. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe on our page on YouTube, and follow me on Twitter at The B Movie Club. As you know, I end every episode with a totally out of context quote, and here it is. I don't want your life. That was, yeah, you remember that one. Good Lord, the line delivery. Anywho, so thank you for joining us next week. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Be well.